Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of SpongeBob Now. Today, I will be talking about Enemy-in-Law, and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 6, the motion picture. First, I'm going to talk about Enemy-in-Law. Enjoy. As the episode commences, a giant robot is rampaging through Bikini Bottom, capturing the citizens and taking them to the chum bucket, where they complain when Plankton reveals he only wanted them to eat here and they leave, possibly to the Krusty Krab. After that, Plankton gets into an argument with his computer wife, Karen, and he eventually spots Mr. Krab's mother, Betsy, walking out of the Krusty Krab. Plankton falls in love with Betsy upon seeing her for the first time. Karen gets mad upon hearing that Plankton's apparently in love with another woman, but after Plankton discovers that Karen has an off switch, he turns her off. Plankton and Betsy eventually start dating, and Mr. Krabs greatly disapproves of the relationship, convinced that Plankton is just trying to find out what the Krabby Patty secret formula is. He does his best to break up the relationship, but only gets scolded by his mother. Eventually, Mr. Krabs confronts Plankton at the chum bucket and accidentally gives Plankton an opportunity to find out the formula. As it would seem, Betsy actually does know the Krabby Patty secret formula, as it's an old family recipe. Krabs claims that Plankton will never know since he's not part of the family. Mr. Krabs leaves, and Plankton gets an idea and laughs to himself. At the restaurant, Betsy confronts her son on his actions as he explains his reasons before Betsy revealed that Plankton never asked her about the formula and didn't know she knew. Mr. Krabs then realizes in his rage, he let this info slip needlessly and becomes nervous. Betsy sends him to his office as punishment and he complies. Plankton arrives at the Krusty Krab and proposes to Betsy Krabs as Mr. Krabs begs his mother not to marry his enemy as Plankton gloats. However, Betsy turns him down, explaining that she's flattered, but not ready for that kind of commitment. In addition, the robot Plankton created shows up, and it's revealed that Betsy is dating the robot. Plankton gets mad and asks Betsy for the formula to call it even. Betsy realizes that Plankton was using her to be able to learn the formula and punches him back into the chum bucket. After being kicked out of the restaurant, Plankton bumps into the on switch for Karen, turning her back on, and they get into another argument. When Plankton insults Karen, she immediately threatens him with a powerful laser as he tries correcting himself. However, Karen, who is still aggressive like a wasp at him for turning her off before, zaps him anyway as punishment before the episode closes. Next, I'm going to talk about Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 6, the motion picture. Enjoy. In the beginning of the episode, SpongeBob and Patrick are at a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy fan club meeting, where they learn that a new movie will be made based on the heroes and meet the actors who will be portraying them. SpongeBob is very furious that the movie is using actors instead of the real Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. The actors state that this is an action movie and that the real Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are too old for action, resulting in SpongeBob telling the fan club that they must boycott the movie. He insults the actors, but this gets him, and Patrick thrown out of the building instead. The two then go to Shady Shoals and tell Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy that Drippy Brothers Studios is making a movie about them and using actors. The heroes find the news horrible, with Mermaid Man crying as a result, and Patrick suggests they make their own movie, which they agree with. After brainstorming ideas at the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob and the crew meet to make the movie. SpongeBob is the director, Squidward is the makeup artist, Sandy is in charge of using the dynamite for explosion scenes, Patrick is the camera operator, Mr. Krabs caters the crew Krabby Patties, Pearl is the leading lady in the invisible boatmobile, and lastly Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are the stars of the movie. While they are filming, Plankton appears to audition for Man Ray, but SpongeBob tells him that Man Ray is not in their movie, so he gives Plankton the job of working the microphone instead. Mermaid Man has trouble with one of his lines, which takes 5,003 takes to get it right. A scene is filmed where Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy ride Pearl up a steep mountain to Kelp Thing's hideout. Pearl is too heavy to pull and slides down the mountain, crashing into the sets. Everything is destroyed, but SpongeBob is confident they can still salvage the footage. However, Patrick reveals that he had mistakenly been filming with the camera's lens cap on the entire time because he thought keeping it on the camera would be the perfect way to avoid losing it, meaning they have no footage to work with. SpongeBob goes berserk with frustration, eats worms, and cries since all the work he did for the movie was ruined, but Mermaid Man gives a speech and convinces him to finish the movie. Mr. Krabs holds the premiere of SpongeBob's production in his restaurant, hoping to make lots of money from the movie. The members of the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy fan club attend, but only because the movie from Drippy Bros. Studios was sold out. The movie is then shown. SpongeBob plays with a car near a box with locks on it. Then the patty vault is opened and Kelp Thing comes down, wanting to steal the Krabby Patties. But then Mermaid Man, played by Sandy, attacks him. He and Barnacle Boy unite, ending the film. The movie proves to be terrible, and the fans are not pleased except for SpongeBob and Patrick. However, Mermaid Man is glad that SpongeBob proved that he and Barnacle Boy still have some action left in their old bones. They then laugh happily due to their efforts, as the episode ends. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Goodbye everyone.